What is going on YouTube, and welcome to day 2 of my stream summaries. Just like yesterday's stream, I started today's stream off with my barters. Bartering is something that I consider a must do each day just because it's my goal to push my life skills as much as possible, and bartering's not something you can do unlimited of because you're limited by parlay and refreshes. Due to that fact, you have to do bartering little by little, and I consider it a must to barter each day. I ran through my routes a little bit differently today than I did the previous day, however. Since we're on a Life EXP event, I decided that it would be a waste for me to do some restock barters, and it would be better for me to utilize my time and prioritize my time efficiency. So because of this, I ran through my T1s as fast as possible. Doing this allows me to hit 5 islands near Portaferia as well as 5 islands near Velia for a total of 60 barters done, and it takes me roughly 11 minutes to do so. So this gets a good chunk of barters out of the way and gets me all my EXP as fast as possible. After that, I did a couple restocks of T3s just south of Ilya due to how close they are to the island, before ending each barter refresh by hitting up my T5s like I'm doing so right now in the video. While I don't consider bartering a fully AFK activity and I actively do it, something I do like about it is you get a couple minutes every once in a while where you can just utilize your time to set other things up. For example, right here I was transporting some goods, making sure all the towns that I have workers in have the materials they need to produce trash crates. Getting up to Guru Trading is one of my big goals. It's going to take me about 5 million crates made to go from Master 27 to Guru 1 Trading. And I have about 90 workers on that task, with about 70 of those workers being advanced production workers. That means whenever they make their crates, they're going to make 4 of them instead of 1. So my crate production is a big thing that I have going at all times, and that's basically where all my spare CP and what my workers are up to. Hitting up all my barters in the fashion that I do so allows me to do each refresh in 45 minutes to about 55 minutes, kind of depending on how distracted I let myself get. So the speed runs of the barters gets all my parlay used, and is very quickly. This allows me some more free time to utilize on other activities and other EXP. And much like the day before again, and much like bartering, in between all my refreshes, I like to go tend to my farms. Farming is just like bartering in the sense that you can't grind it all you want. You have to wait for your prunes and have to wait for issues with your crops to be able to go get your EXP. So in between any single task I like to mix in tending to these farms. This helps me keep my EXP bar moving and keep farming going up along with the other life skills. Much like the day before as well, we hit up our active playtime hunting. However, something a little bit different is today's hunting was on some Shadow Lions. Shadow Lions are about 80% the EXP that the Rhinos are, but they're actually worth quite a bit more silver. We're gonna watch a whole run through, a whole rotation of the Shadow Lions, and I'm gonna also explain how I do Shadow Lions as a Musa. Musa is a very sweaty class for Lions because we can utilize a couple things to speed it up. Another thing that I also do that is kind of different, but some more advanced life skillers will understand, is there's 7 cedar trees in this rotation as well. So as I'm running through the rotations, I like to gather the cedar sap as you see here. Now to explain how I kill these lions, you'll notice I have 2 main hand weapons on my hotbar. I'll hot swap and use forward blind thrust, which gives me a 10% crit rate, or my bad, a 30% crit rate for 10 seconds buff. This allows me to then switch to another blade, which allows me to hot swap to my musket very quickly, and then go in and utilize that 30% crit rate to help speed up the kill on the lions. Showcasing my buffs right quick for the people on stream during this moment. To explain, I'm running a Cron Mill, Elixir of Flowing Time for EXP, an elixir of assassin for back attack damage since I'm trying to back attack as much as possible. Then elixir flowing wind and elixir strong shock, what rounds out giving me my 5 attack speed 5 crit. That's something you want very badly when you're hunting. I'm running a mastery elixir just due to the fact that I'm 10 mastery points away from a bracket, and so that gives me my bracket very easily. And anytime I'm life scaling, I like to keep Perfume of Swiftness running. Now, as we reach this part of the rotation, I always like to use what I call the E buff. It's our little 30-second buff that is also 30% crit rate, but this one lasts for 30 seconds. Usually with this buff, I can kill 2 lions no problem. Because I was screwing around and messing with the wild herbs right there, I lost most of the buff on this kill. But it really didn't matter. As long as I offload those first 4 shots with the buffs, I typically can get the lions down while only reloading once. But every once in a while, that's not the case. And I'm screwing around just a wee bit in this rotation, just explaining things to the chat, because I had a couple viewers who were interested in the lions that weren't here for the previous hours. We have one more group of 3 in this rotation, and then we'll jump into the summary of how much EXP and silver I made for the day. And I'll be honest, I was impressed with the results. One last lion in the rotation. Let's grab our buff, hot swap, reload, and we can just jump straight into that lion. As you can see, we pretty much start with it half dead due to utilizing that buff in that fashion. It really helps speed up the kills, and that's something that just Musas can do. I'm not sure what other classes might be able to do a similar trick, but that's something that makes Musas very good for the lions. Those are the last 2 cedar trees in the rotation, and we're done. We're back at where we started. But anyways, let's take a look at the results for the day. So looking into our EXP gains for the day, we gained 5.19% in our gathering. You get gathering EXP as you hunt due to the fact that you're just gathering what you hunt, and you're getting EXP for the materials that they drop. Lions aren't going to be the greatest EXP for gathering due to the fact that they're going to be much slower kills with hunting, but you're getting a lot of materials in there, as we'll see in just a second. As far as hunting EXP goes, I'm getting about 4% an hour out there at Guru 44 hunting, and we gained 25.32% today in our hunting. For farming, in between our bartering routes, we got 13.64% last night, and bartering we got 16.73%, which I'm a little bit surprised by because we did not even do all our refreshes. I only believe I did 1 Crow Merchant voucher, but I could be mistaken on that. But those are our EXP gains for the day. Now let's talk about how much silver we made. Much like the day before, I started the day with 2 bill in my marketplace as well as 100 mil on my character. I believe this is what I'm going to do each day just to help keep track. It will be very simple to just see how that number changes. The marketplace value went up by 126 mil. Nothing fancy. This is just me selling some things like whenever I tend to my farms and I eventually harvest some special peppers. Me selling things like that, or just whatever I have to sell throughout the day. In my inventory, I'm up 457 mil. This is going to be from Imperials as well as 2 barter refreshes. Those 2 things combined are not going to be the bulk of the money at all. Those 2 things only end up being 584 mil. However, we need to get into the hunting. Looking over our hunting numbers, they're a bit more eye-popping. So we grinded for about 6 hours at our hunting spot, going and killing lions, and we came out with 5 bill and 79 mil. It came out to an average of 846 mil an hour. And here's the thing about lions. You're getting a lot of good drops as is, but what really makes lions is getting the trophies. Whenever you get a head drop and you take it all the way up to a special mastered stuff head, it's going to be worth right now around 160 mil in the marketplace. Now it's going to cost you 30 mil to make it, and then after tax, it's going to come out to about 106 mil profit per head. Once you're at high mastery for hunting, you're going to be procking either 3 or 4 heads in one gather. So you're getting about a 420 mil drop if you proc 4 heads in one. You proc heads roughly once an hour. That's going to come and go as RNG goes, but a rough average is about once an hour you're going to proc some heads. So the 846 mil an hour has been fairly consistent for my guildie who only does lions. And we'll see how it is for me going forwards. I'm not always going to do lions, but I'm not always going to do rhinos either. I want to switch it up so it's not the exact same activity, even if I do the same life skill. We intend to hunt until we do hit our next hunting level, and then I'm going to switch over to gathering for a level. But anyways, back to the income. Another thing I'm going to point out about this income is it's 5 bill and 79 mil if I were to sell the lion meat. Now, I did cook for about 35 minutes using the lion meat we gathered today, and that netted me an extra 520 mil profit whenever I sell off those hamburgers. Cooking jungle hamburgers for me with my mastery at the moment with 1 second cooking is about 930 mil silver an hour profit margins. So adding up everything we made today all together, we come out with a grand total of 6 bill 183 mil. So that will conclude today's video and our stream summary. Hopefully I did kind of okay with this one. We can start getting an idea of how much EXP I get each day and how much silver I make each day, especially depending on the task. Some tasks are going to be better for silver than others. For example, whenever I do go to the gathering, I am going to be doing bear. I don't expect wild herbs to be anywhere near the silver that's something that, say, shadow lions is. So I don't expect to see a 6 bill day there, but this can kind of give us an idea of how much money we can make at each spot and what we're all doing. But anyways, I appreciate you watching, chilling, and hanging out. I'll drop a link to the stream down below if you want to come ask questions or just vibe with us. And you all take care and have a wonderful day. Yeah.